welcome to my backyard. I finished a book, finally finished a book that is new to me, and I have no one to talk to about it, so we're going to talk about it. She's on a high alert. There's something going on. Anyways, so I finished a book. So I got a Kobo for my birthday in December. My birthday is like end of December. So I got a Kobo for my birthday from my lovely parents. And I was browsing like books that honestly that were on sale because I'm thrifty. I'm not cheap, I'm just thrifty. It's fine. So I was looking at books and there was a book for sale and I bought it and I just finished it, and it was the first, this is the first new to me book that I have read in years. I've been stuck in the cocoon that is the rereads, where I've just been rereading my favorite books or reading books by my favorite or by authors that I've read before and just staying in the comfort zone that is the reread. And I finally read a new book by a new to me author. I loved it. I didn't know I would. I kept telling myself, oh, you probably won't like it. You probably won't like it. I loved it. I loved it. There was not, and I'm like, duh, of course I liked it. It's weird fantasy. But also like funny and light, but also not, but also is. And so the book I finished is Mort by Terry Pratchett. And I don't know why haven't I read Terry Pratchett before? It's so good, and the humor is exactly my kind of humor. Like a lot of the humor kind of humor that is in this book is also in my book that I wrote, and I'm just like, why have I not read this? And I really was trying to read more fantasy too. Oh, a child's coming. Hi. Oh. She's up.
Something Who are you talking to?
I am making a video about a book I read because I have no one else to talk to about it, and I need to talk about it. But Daddy hasn't read the book yet, and he hates spoilers, so I can't talk to him about it yet. Hi. I'm gonna cut you out. So I read a book, and it was so funny. It was so funny. I loved the humor of it. There's my son. Hi, kid. Oh my gosh. Luckily, my son's going in the front yard, so he'll be a little bit quieter, but he, of course, chose the loudest vehicle to ride. It's fine. So the humor in the book is the best. The world building, I think, is also top tier. Like, just the way it's and I love just how weird and wonderful and whimsical the world building is, and that's the point. I loved that about it. I'm trying not to be too spoilery. It's not like a new book, but like just in case. Oh, just Mort himself and all the characters, really. I loved how ordinary and like normal they are, and that's what makes them wonderful and beautiful in a lot of ways, and just how how normal they are. And like, I love that that's the point of the story without it being like, that's the point of the story, you know what I mean? So it's not this like overt thing like, here's the message, here's the point, but the point is that like death being this like inhuman entity like cares and has feelings for these really ordinary people. And I love just having them next to each other, of being, death and then average dude and really normal girl and really normal, really bad at his job wizard and really bad at her job princess. And that was really, really beautiful. I think the line that I love the most, which is kind of spoilery, but not too much, it was said twice by like two pairs of characters at the beginning and the end, which I love that kind of book ending, where you have like this situation happen and this conversation, and then at the end of the book or near the end of the book it's like repeated, and it like just adds such a depth to it. I love it so much. And it was the phrase where one character says, is like freaking out, and they're like, I don't know what to do, I've never done this before. And then the other character says, me neither, let's do it together. And it's just sums up so much. So much of the book is summed up in that little interaction, but also so much of life. Spoiler alert, so much of life is summed up in that. And I loved that a lot. I loved how just real in this magical world with, you know, death being a person, how like unreal that is, but like how real the story is and how real the characters are. I love that is very much how Terry Pratchett writes. I did have one moment where I was like, I don't understand this world's concept of the creator, because that's part of the world building, because I love world building. I love world building. I love world building so much. So I was trying to wrap my head around like death being the entity. How does that work with like the cosmology of this world? How does that work blah, 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 with like fate being set in stone? Because that's very much part of the theme and part of the story is that like you can't change fate, but then you can, but like not really. And then there's like a creator, big G God, who like sets everything in motion. That's where everyone's like story comes from, is from this creator who made them a certain way, who has their story kind of set in stone. And I was trying to figure that out, and then I had this like epiphany where I'm like, it's not that hard, stupid, it's Terry. Like he's the creator, it's him, like duh. Anyways, so that was funny that I had that. I was like, this feels like a weakness of the world building, and it's not, it was just me being dumb. So that was lovely, being like, oh no, this world is very thought through, and these characters are very well-rounded and fleshed out. I do think the only, like, if I had to be nitpicky about a weakness or something that wasn't my favorite, is just the relationship between Mort and the whole book. Also, the whole book I called her Yasna, and then realized that's not her name. It's Isabel. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyways, between Mort and Isabel, just I was trying to figure that out. Of like, when did they fall in love? Like, I had to really think about it. It just wasn't very obvious. But then nothing in the book. It's like it makes sense with like the writing, and it makes sense with all that. So it like works. But it also felt very sudden from them going from like being friends and working together on this mission and then getting married. Like that felt really fast, and like I didn't really understand the point at which Mort fell in love with her until I like thought about it again. Like the whole like, oh, creator is it's Terry, duh. Once I thought about it, like these are two people who have not been valued as people. Like Mort, he's never even called Mort. Nobody calls him Mort. And that's his whole like thing he's mad about the whole time, is that everybody calls him just like boy or you or kid, like whatever. And he's always like correcting them, like softly saying, no, Mort, it's my name, Mort. And Isabel's the first person to actually like care about him as a person. And like even like his whole like backstory with his family and his parents, like they don't understand him and they don't get him, but she does. And Isabel, yeah, she's the first person to really understand him and to get him and to see him as a person and value him. So like from that standpoint, like it makes sense that they would fall in love. But like you like just met her, dude. So like that, if I had to say there was a weakness, it's that. But also like I understand it. She's also like eternally 16, but then she's not, because she's been 16 for a while. So like she's developed. Oh, my children are coming in. So yeah, good book. Recommend it. I'll let you know how I feel about the rest of the books, because I'm going to read them all, obviously. So, till next time, bye! My dog ended up